All right. So once again, I'm live and on this beautiful Sunday evening in Richmond, Virginia. We got my guest Victor from Ohio, and he's a very interesting guy. He always gives me donations and words of encouragement during the crazy time we got going on right now. And I know he might be 56 years old, but it's always good when the old reach back out to the young because so many of them doesn't, or they don't understand, or they can't reach on the same level of issues. So with that being said, how you doing today, brother?
Man, I'm doing good, man. Thanks for having me on, man. It's been a long time. You know, we've been rapping for a long time, and I know you said you was gonna get me on, so now we on.
Yeah. Yeah, that's right. I mean, I'm glad that you was able to do it. Let me where's my damn cell phone? That's right. Let me text this guy and tell him to come on.
A lot of crazy stuff going on, though.
Yeah, and I'm gonna have to probably use my tablet to probably um get some of that stuff because this thing acting crazy. But let me download this video so people can see it. As a lot of people know, and I thank people for their donations and kind words over the last couple of days. I did turn 30 for hold on. No, hit the link and come. Okay, sorry. Oh dang, you might have to call me in. Okay, you may have to go. Gotcha. Okay. All right. Don't worry about it. Let me play this video right quick. Okay. Let me see. Damn it. I forgot the daggone number of this damn tablet, man. Let's see. Share screen. I got you. I'm coming right now. This is the thing that he did, and I want to give him his props for a wonderful wonderful tribute. And I didn't want him to go unnoticed. If the daggone loads, be the problem. Damn.
Happy birthday, King BJ.
Yes.
Happy birthday, King BJ. Happy birthday to you. Go Bernard, it's your birthday. Go Bernard, go DJ, go King BJ. See how it works. Hey.
Yeah.
Happy anniversary. I thank the Most High that your dad did not pull out, that your mama went through with the process. Because you are a very unique individual, brother. You are really, in the words of Duke, man, like you a hype man. Like, you know, you said, Brother Ron, it's King Bernard, King BJ, man, it's time to do what it do. Yay. Even though you are a true character in the best way possible, you are a real soldier. I mean, the first time I met you, you came like a 13-hour, 16-hour drive to meet Joe Brown and me, and turn your ass back around, staying barely a day, and just turn back around and went to work the next day. I mean, you are an interesting brother, man. First, man, they said the eyes are the window to the soul. And brother, you had that special twinkle in your eye. You had that postman twinkle. I know you're a postman, Mr. Postman. You had that twinkle. I said, this the brother never want to cross. You always want to be on his good side because you got that special postman twinkle, and also you definitely have the spirit of the righteous ancestors. Like I said, you like the second coming of Gabriel Prosser. You know, Gabriel was from Richmond, like you are, sir. And it's like you put in the work for the people. But, you know, in this business, I meet a lot of different people. People know who I am. A lot of times I don't know who they are. So, I mean, trust is a process. And like I said, you know, if years later, the Fed came me with a packet saying that, hey, you know, Brother Bernard, I would say, well, I really liked him anyway. He said he was a cool guy, you know, whatever. But, you know, what's interesting, you know, with Judge Joe, man, BJ was alive 50, 60 years ago. He'd be a Black Panther. He'd be like Fred Hampton. And I said, okay, interesting. But I will tell you this, man, you are really a great researcher, and you don't mind. And that's always a good trait to have if you want to move people forward in a positive way. So I want to give you your props on that. And also I want to wish you amplified blessings of longevity, good health, real wealth, peace, love, and happiness, and so years of Black man excellence, Black grown man joy. And know, brother, that the best is yet to come, and the marathon continues. Salute. Like I said, I think you're an interesting dude. Like, you know, I hope you know that, you know, you drive to Richmond like from DC. I mean, driving down there. I gotta go back down south to get back to Memphis, but drive to Richmond is an interesting ride, man, because your the GPS will say 2 hours, then it's 4 hours later I'm in Richmond. But anyway, God bless you, man. They blessed to have somebody like you down in Richmond. Keep and pushing. One love. And it's still July 16th out there on the West Coast, on the West Side. I'll see you when I see you. One love.
Hey, man, happy belated birthday once again, man. You know, hope you enjoyed it. I can't hear
That was
you.
very interesting. I had to give him a shout out for that.
Yeah, no doubt.
But
Ron
yeah, that was actually kind of cool. I give him props for that. So, you know, usually I don't even think about it, but y'all were very interested this week, so I had to thank you just instead. Let me call this guy on my tablet. Get him in. I don't think he knew how to use it.
Yeah.
I think he needs one. Yeah. Okay. Wait. Yeah, we got a lot to talk about. We got to talk about the Hey, Piankey, this is Bernard. I had to call you on the tablet. You hear me?
Yeah.
Okay, so this is brother Piankey. He called. Yeah, I called him. You know, talk about some constitutional stuff and more. And he always has a interesting topic of things. So I just wanted to ask you, man. A lot of things been going on in the last couple weeks and months, and I think the people need to know about the rights and of the Constitution and stuff like that, and also what they're doing with how can we call it inoculation and what they call it inoculation and more, and their rights, do's and don'ts during this time of uncertainty.
Well, when you say things been going on last for a little while, what kind of things you talking about?
Well, everything since actually last 30 years, but how they've been breaking it down, the Constitution one by one, and how they Patriot Act, what they're doing right now with the spying and trying to mandate COVID passports, everything they've been doing, and the do's and don'ts, and some history, as you well know of.
Well, on the COVID, the federal government can't make people take no shot. And a lot of things have been done that was unconstitutional around this pandemic.
Okay.
And a lot of people contend they created the virus before they created. They created the vaccine before they created the virus. And it only makes sense because you want to make sure you got a vaccine ready just in case your Frankenstein experiments with a virus get carried away and get out of control. But like they have people going to those stores and canvassing them and asking them have they taken the shot, and that for convenience we got somebody here that can give you the shot. I think all that is harvesting votes, harvesting voters, and that's here to use the taxpayers' money to do that. It's totally absurd. And I wouldn't. I haven't took those shots. I ain't gonna take those shots. This man doesn't saying that you don't have a job, you can't come to work, can you ride on planes? There needs to be some lawsuits put forth on stuff like that.
Okay, this is interesting. I got a guy on my screen right here. I'm asking Victor, what's your thoughts on that? And I'll come in and follow up.
Well, it's like I've always told you guys, this is a forerunner to the mark of the beast. It might not necessarily be the mark of the beast, but it definitely is a forerunner. The other thing I always said was that this is a plan put together to bring about much division and much chaos amongst the people of this country. Black, white, Hispanic, Orientals, everybody against one another. The masked against the unmasked, the vaccinated against the unvaccinated. Total chaos. And I think last week you had Dr. Sakima Bay on there. And one of the things that he definitely stated that I totally agreed with, and I've been saying it for a long time, is that if the people of this country don't come together, we're gonna lose it. I think there's a death rattle taking place for the deep state and for the country. Somebody is gonna go one way or the other, and in order for us to keep from having to live in a society where we become the subjects rather than citizens, plain and simple, people are just gonna have to stop hating on one another. We're gonna have to try to figure out, what we need to do in order to defeat this wicked satanic plan. And being at each other's throats is not going to cut it, because that's exactly what is needed to bring about this division.
What do you think about that, Piankey?
Well, I appreciate what you just said.
Okay.
I really am. What he said makes a lot of sense, and people have laid out on the table and know what it is that you study, what it is that you're looking at. Yes, there have been underlying attempts to destroy the fabric of the United States, and that's been going on for quite some time. Okay. And what I'm looking at now, especially with the advent of Donald Trump, is that you got people out there that who got an agenda, got to describe things that they want to happen, and he was standing in the way of it. Mm-hmm. And then when you look at the things that they want to happen, I don't think we want that anyway. I don't want to see the anarchy. I don't want to be communists. The communists tried this a long time ago, back in the 1950s, with blacks, by the way.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah. Manny Morrow. What's the name of
Manny Johnson.
Manny Johnson. Yeah.
On what they tried to do. You know, it was the Communist Party that defended Scottsboro 9. Thought the NAACP wouldn't take the case up. So they stepped up and defended them in court. But coming through the 50s, you had the incidents with Paul Robeson and others. You had the Marxists, Karl Marxists with dialectic deism or something of that nature. So yes, those things are for real, but you know, you would have to live and experience and be able to recall back on it as you look and see what's happening today.
Okay, let me
I'll tell you one of.
Okay, go ahead.
I ain't never seen so many dumb white folks in all my life. And I mean some young ones. They are just damn dumb.
Hey, look, let me step in here. Frank Nitty, I'm sorry. I don't know why you're not getting in there. They probably shadow banning me or whatever. Who gives a damn, right? It is what it is. They can probably shadow ban more after what I show to y'all later. I'm gonna give y'all some information, but nevertheless, what you said is exactly right, Piankey. And I look at it a little bit Gestapo. I always refer to this as a clown show, but this is the ultimate Nazi Gestapo. It's a book called Operation Paperclip. You can also read The Secret Relationship Between Blacks and Jews. You can read The Protocols of Learned Elders of Zion and more. And you will find out. And also The Communist Manifesto by Karl Marx. And you will, if you read it, everything that you're looking at is what is in those books. All them books I just named, everything is playing out strictly by the script. Matter of fact, it's almost like you got an actor, screenplay, and more, right? So when I look at it, even when we go to, and we got to talk about this, also this black manhood agenda, because I am tired of seeing black men in dresses. This stuff is really getting crazy. And in a minute, I'm gonna let you break it down, and you can tell people Google it. That guy Kevin Jennings, who was part of Obama's What Safe Schools Act. But right now, I was looking at some things today, and they got this Indian guy they've been bringing up lately on the news. Forget his name. He's a Surgeon General. I know it's V.K. Murphy or something, but they've been trotting him out lately. They had Fauci there, they bringing him out. You know, they bringing him out, and he's talking, and they're saying the pandemic is among the unvaccinated. The unvaccinated are killing people. Well, a lot of people don't know when they're saying that. You better read that National Defense Authorization Act, because they are trying to call you a terrorist. That's what they're trying to tell you. They ain't worried about no vaccinated. They trying to tell you a terrorist because you killing people. That's what they're trying to do. And the woman on CNN said that 2 months ago, COVID deniers and Trump supporters should be treated as domestic terrorists. They say this on national TV. They're not even hiding anymore. So you better understand what these people are really trying to tell you before you do end up in a concentration camp.
But you know what? Unfortunately for them is that it ain't just Trump supporters that are not taking this shot. You know,
of course not.
91 Vid Cove. Nobody's taking it. Ain't just, Trump's. I got a lot of family members. I know some friends, who, hell no, we ain't doing this. It came too quick. As I've heard doctors talk about, the making of vaccines, it's a 5 to 10 year process. So it's been pushed on us real quick. And this is, and BJ, you've heard me say this many times before.
Hey, hold on a minute. Say it for purposes, say inoculation or something, because these screwballs, you know how they are.
Yeah. Well, the shot, as I was saying, it came about too quick. And at some point in time, if I'm somebody that's somewhat on the fence, or if I'm someone who has already gotten it, or just like now, I'm not taking it. And the fact of the matter is, I would have to be, people ought to be very, very skeptical as to why they're pushing so hard. I mean, we got many doctors out there, man, that have, you know, you had the frontline doctors, you had the Great Barrington Declaration, you know, that came out where these doctors were saying that this was an overreaction to what happened last year, and irregardless of their professional opinion, you know, they're marching on, and that, you know, if nothing else makes you skeptical, that should really make a person skeptical, because at the end of the day, they're coming for us all, and we ought to, you know, wake up to that reality and put our differences aside, you know, once again, and you know, try to defeat this plan by making our voices heard. You know, you still got to call your representatives and let them know, you know, they get enough phone calls from people saying don't do this. You know, there's a very good chance they may change their minds.
Okay, well let me slide to Piankey on this one, because Piankey, there was a topic that you had brought up a couple of days ago. It was very interesting, and you talked about what happened at um, January 6th, and you were actually talking about the Constitution, how it was broken. Can you explain that?
Well, January 6th, what the object was, of course, you know, things get hijacked, was to send a message to the senators, which was led by Mike Pence, the vice president, that those ballots coming from those states that had controversies between one another over that issue, they should have been sent back to those state legislatures, as the Constitution says.
Mm-hmm.
We have controversy between states. That's something that the states have to work out and being pushed by the people. That is, in fact, is where a big problem lies. People today are ignorant, especially when it comes down to their civic duty. It wasn't supposed, the courts couldn't see, the courts ain't going to decide no election. That's why every time that you had a lawsuit reaching the courts will refuse to hear it. The court's not supposed to decide elections. The Constitution puts that authority with the states. And of course, then you see what happened. You had these outside agitators and people who were there wanting to do mayhem and harm to develop into what it developed. But at the same time, hell, you just had those Democratic legislators come out of Texas and fly to Washington, D.C. here just last week. And they went into the building and started protesting, which is illegal to do in the Capitol building. And not only that, hell, they was on the plane, didn't have no masks on. They were doing selfies of themselves as a group. So you begin to wonder.
Well, you know, I was looking at this thing with this audit up there, and it says 74,000 ballots they couldn't find out where they came from. So, and I look at this thing, we all know what happened, but the fact that news media can sit up there and lie and then put all these distractions like Black Lives Matter and Antifa, you know the deal. And I know, Piankey, you had talked to me before, probably about months ago on another show, and you had talked to me about, you realized the game of Black Lives Matter years ago, and you tried to let people know, but they were so into with the message they were saying, defund the police and all that, they couldn't get into the real knowledge of what this group really is, which is really communist and really a transgender front movement. So can you explain that?
Well, let me tell you, as far as Black Lives Matter is concerned, you know, this thing that let's get to the media. The people that talk the best, or should I say the entity that talks the best on who controls the media, and I'm not a great fan of them, but I respect them, and that's the Nation of Islam. And when they put out those books, The Secret Relationship Between Blacks and Jews, and they talked about the control of the media. Well, if you go research today and just go in on Wikipedia on media and just start talking about the media and look at the names: Goldberg, Weinstein, and so on and so on and so on. And the same thing with entertainers, because I was looking at a documentary, it's on YouTube about the four tops. About the four tops. I just looked at it the other day. And the person that handles all their bookings, their travel, and their marketing and so on is a lady by the name, a white woman by the name of Cynthia. I think her last name is Goldberg. Well, all this stuff just can't be coincidental, can it? So what they've been saying is something to it.
Well, let me say something about that. I'm glad you brought that, because if you read the people history, and I know they're going to say it's anti-Semitic, who gives a damn? They said, they even told you, and I read the book, The Protocol of Zion, they want to control all levels of human activity. Call them the small hats if you want, whatever you want to call them. Or you can call them what they call in the Bible, synagogue of Satan. I really don't care. But they want to control all levels of human activity. And what you just said, Goldberg, Weinstein, Epstein, Greenblatt, and you can go on and on, Rockefeller.
Abraham Foxman.
Yeah, these type of guys.
But during the 1995 million reparations march, not reparations,
Million Man March.
It was Abraham Foxman for the ADL that was going around to the black ministers, black preachers, and telling them to not let their congregation get involved in the Million Man March. Yep.
And then we can go on and on. We can go Kissinger and Soros. Then we can go Bloomberg, and we can go. I can go so. All you gotta do is look at the people's names. I mean, I was in a store today, and the guy, his last name was Horowitz or something like that, and I was like, "Whoa!" I said, "Oh yeah, Horowitz." Okay, yeah. Once you see that last name, that's how you identify them, because they got last names like that. Sometimes they can right in, but they may change their alias a little bit, but for the most part, even Kamala Harris, the vice president, her husband's a Jewish guy, so go look at that, right?
Yeah. Here's another thing. There's what you call Jews the religion, and then there's Jews the club.
Okay, gotcha. Yeah. Okay.
Don't get it. See, everybody, when they say Jew, which really wasn't no religion in that damn way, but people have been conditioned to look at it like that. I mean, when you go to these synagogues, they got mechanisms to create businesses. They will fund you. This is what I heard. They will fund an aspiring person, a member of the synagogue that wants to be a business owner. They will fund them for 3 failures. You fail 3 times, then you got to get out of there. But that's what they do. And you look at the Nazis back there in World War II in Germany. The Jews controlled the banks in Germany to a point where Germans can even go in and borrow their own money. That sounds familiar to you?
Yeah.
They could go to a bank and get money out that they had the money in. And that was some of the, pushback that you seen that went. And another thing, they had over 100,000 Jews that fought with the Nazis, with Hitler.
Yep, that's right. Yep, that's right.
So
that's exactly right. As a matter of fact, they had an agreement called the Havaro Agreement.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, so a lot of people don't know that. They think.
So there is a plan going on. The people is immune to it because they just ain't thinking in those directions.
Well, and
I've been watching this for a long time, and as I get older, see, one thing you do, especially when you read a lot, you start running into these names. You run into a name here, run into a name way over there. not on the subject that you was reading in the place before you got to where you are now reading on something. And
Well,
that's just what it is. It's these families.
Let me ask you this.
Families. Now, they've got it bigger. There's more of them nowadays than what it was. You know, like you got the Patels, the Indians that control the motel part, don't you?
Okay, go ahead.
Back
Go ahead.
during World War II, when we were fighting Japan, in the U.S. government started interning Japanese Americans, and it was a Japanese American on a hotel in Texas. I think it was El Paso. I'm not sure. So what you had an Indian that came out of Mexico traveling, and he stayed in that hotel, you know, as he was journeying on. And he found out what was going on. He found out that this Japanese wanted to sell it because he had to liquidate as much as he possibly can, because he was had to leave. Either go intern or he trying to get back to Japan. So he sold the hotel to him. I think it was $150. It might have been $250. Anyway, that was the beginning of the Patels in the hotel business here in the United States. Which is now, last time I heard a report, it's like $28 billion a year.
Okay. Well, Victor, what you got to say about that? That's very interesting. You're a good history man, Piankey. I like that, actually.
Because I actually wanted to ask him about David Horowitz. He's wrote a couple of books about being, because, you know, he left the communist movement, and he's wrote a couple of books, and he literally he's been out there exposing a lot of what was going on. Are you familiar with him? Do you know anything about him?
What's his name?
David Horowitz. David.
Yeah, I'm familiar with him.
Oh, okay.
Back there in let's see, what's the book he wrote? Emerging Viruses. That goes way back. That is like in the 90s, mid-90s sometime.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Okay. So he pretty much on the up and up then, right?
There's another movie that came out with all that. I can't think of it. And the band played on. That's another one. The band played on. It's on YouTube. He talks about the time when AIDS started springing up, and they had the young white guy out in San Francisco that got killed. They named a movie after him. And it talks about, I think it talks about Horowitz. And I think it may even talk about Fauci back in them days too. Check that movie out. That band played on. A lot of similarities with what we see that we were faced with this pandemic.
Yeah. You know, they say art imitates life, you know.
Okay. Well, let me ask you a question, Mr. Piankey, because I've been dying to ask this question. So what do you think about this agenda recently with all these black men in dresses in the media? They've been doing it for a while, but they've been doing steroids lately. Women in dress like men too, but for the most part, black men dresses. What's your thoughts?
Black men dressing like women?
Yeah.
Man, I ain't got time looking at them damn fools.
But you know the movement that's going on, and you had talked about this Safe Street Act and what went on it, and it was called Fiskate. Actually, it was in 1995. I went back and looked it up and did some research on it, so I'm glad you brought that to my attention.
Well, you know,
they're out there now, they're kind of strong now. They always was kind of low key, but now they out there strong because of this LGBTQ, whatever the letters are, movement, and they're trying to ride in on their coattail.
Yeah.
Okay.
But the thing is, see what they want to get at is your kids. They want to get to your kids. They don't care about you.
Well, they just had a video
because that's how they continue to go on. They ain't have babies. And that old stuff about people naturally that way? I don't think so, but I'm not the one to argue with them. But I know one thing: they want to get to your kids the same way they're trying to get to your kids with this critical race theory.
Okay. Well, what you got, Victor? What you got on that?
Well, I basically what I was going to say was Dr. Frances Quest Welsing. I think it was probably right around 2010. She was doing a lecture, and one of the things that she brought up in that lecture was that Neely Fuller, back in the early 70s, 71, 72, when they used to do those lectures, she actually stated that Neely Fuller had said that the days were coming when they were going to put black men in dresses. Then you have Flip Wilson, and I mean the line. I mean, it's a long line of us of black men putting on women's apparel, and I think that was one of the reasons why they went after Dave Chappelle so hard. Because I remember Dave Chappelle, when he was being interviewed with Oprah, he was like, he went in his trailer, he thought he was in the wrong trailer, and and after that, it seemed like his career kind of just
he thought he was in the wrong trailer, huh?
Yeah, he thought he was in the wrong trailer. Yeah. And he was like, what's going on around there? Is this Back Mountain? Something like that. But what I look at this transgenderism thing, it really is, when you look at it, an image of the Baphomet. It's a satanic image where you got a woman's breasts, a man's body, and a goat head. And, and I think this is just another attempt for Satan to recreate man in his own image. And sadly enough, so many people have been, indoctrinated or deceived into thinking that they could change their sex. And, I myself personally, I feel sorry. I feel sorry for when you have a hard time trying to determine, when you allow your mind to manipulate you into thinking that you're something that you're not. You got all the parts of a man, all the parts of a woman, but yet because you think or you feel like something, that automatically means that I got to go along with that. No, it's just, it's, it's crazy.
You can respect them based on the laws of this country. You can respect it, but you don't have to accept it. And that needs to be iterated. But people won't see that stuff like that. See, here's another thing. People have been so conditioned, especially black, with this religion. I love every damn body and forgive everybody. Only God forgives. I don't. But you got black, and I ain't saying all of them, but you know what I'm talking about. Mm-hmm. They want to forgive every damn body. They crazy as hell. If you forgive, in Africa, when those tribes came down on another tribe, and if they lost, several things was going to happen to them. Either you're going to pay for the damage that you caused, we're going to sell you off and try to recoup, or we're going to kill you. That was the three alternatives. Mm-hmm. And you don't let somebody go because they learn from that experience. And then they'll be back in another 2 weeks, and they're not going to make their mistakes again.
That's right. Yeah. Well, I will say this. When I looked at it and from a context, I'm just like, okay, how far are we going to go with this? But they go into movies, TV, everything. You got to watch every little skit, every little thing, because your kid could become confused. I've seen things in Chicago, and I got to talk about Chicago in a second too as well. But they're talking about you can get condoms at 10 years old, this, that, and the third, without parents' consent, sexual education early. It's very wild. But I did want to tell you, Piankey, that in Chicago, they're having a $1 million giveaway for the jab. Like, no, not the jab. Not the jab. It was a gun buyback. So if you can tell where illegal guns are, they'll pay you $1 million. So that is very interesting. That's a form of also communism too. They're trying to do there. So you gotta really because they're gonna make sure somebody turn them guns in.
You know, Adolf Hitler once stated that, in order, to advance Nazism, he had to disarm his subjects. He called the German people subjects. That lets you know right then and there that that they didn't really have any rights other than that which they gave them. But the disarming of the people, there's many stories out there, brothers from Chicago and LA talking about crates of firearms being left in the neighborhoods, in alleys and things of that nature. And then now we got the killing fields of our inner cities across this country. I mean, it was a consorted. I mean, it was a serious plot and a plan to destroy us. And they used, and like you said, Bernard, they use the entertainment industry. You hear a lot of these guys, they talk about some of the crazy stuff that goes on within the entertainment industry. So this is why I think sometimes we got to turn the TVs off. I mean, hell, I ain't been to a movie in months. I mean, don't get me wrong, I do watch certain things on television, but by the same token, I try to divert away from a lot of these new programs. I mean, there's a couple that I may watch from time to time, but a lot of these programs are just continuously pushing this LGBTQ agenda, and it really isn't necessary. I mean, if that's what you are and the way you want to be, you go behind closed doors. Whatever you do with another adult is your business. But leave the children alone. I mean, that's one of the things, just leave the kids alone. But, Bernard, I sent you and Shaq that video this guy did, and he played the choir in San Francisco, saying that they were coming for the kids, and it's always been the plan.
Well, that's true. That's what they're gonna go after. They're gonna go after the kids. It's the same thing in these public schools. Like you had this head of the NEA, the National Education Association, the teachers union, said that they're gonna create a legal fund for any teacher that goes against the orders of not teaching CRT, and they teach it anyway. And there's other things too. You got these things going on where teachers sit up on the desk and take a dildo and put a condom on it, and lay up on the desk and go through the motions of how you're supposed to use it in front of elementary schools, children. Who in the hell want their kids to be watching that?
What's amazing about this is that so many parents, it's like there's no real outcry about it. You talked about the critical race theory for that. When you got black parents and white parents complaining about the this critical race theory, then obviously it's not
here we go again.
good. I don't know a whole lot about it. Can't really speak on it, but yeah, man, if I'm just amazed that so many parents aren't speaking up, and I think the more these parents come out and speak out and push back, more and more on these agendas, then maybe they'll push it back in the closet, or something. But something has to be done, man. I mean, it's just it seemed like to me it's too much silence. I mean, there are those who are complaining, those who are out, making their voices being heard, but it's not enough because they're continuing on.
That's very
black folk against that too, but black people can't. So you ain't gonna find many black folks to speak out on stuff like I do because they scared of losing their job and being reprimanded and called all kind of crazy ass names and stuff. Yeah. Black folks don't want their kids being taught that. Now you can teach critical race. You can teach that at home or in the grassroots or something like this. But they ain't supposed to be taught to hate the country in no public schools. What kind of sense does it? Where does it stop?
You know,
because it's not. And I can really counter a lot of people's arguments with something that they speaking against and ask them, well, do you have this in your household? Do you celebrate this? And they don't know the history of it. It's only that somebody gave it to them and they gravitated to it.
Yeah, it's the go along, get along kind of a thing. You know, I remember one Sunday morning I stood up in our church and I read paragraphs from the Michael Swift. Is his name Michael Swift? The guy that wrote that. Yeah.
I didn't mean to cut you off, but Shaq
No,
just entered the room, and I ain't want to. I can you hear me, Shaq? Can you hear me?
he must be having some difficulties.
Okay. You hear me? Oh. Can you hear me?
No, I can't hear you.
You can't hear me. What's going on? I can hear you.
Can you hear
me now? What the hell? I don't know. I'm gonna remove him and bring him back in. Hold on. Go ahead and say what you gotta say. Go ahead.
Yeah, but basically I was saying that I read paragraphs of it. And, there were those who were defending it, saying it was just a satirical rant, whatever the case might be. But when you look at what is happening, it's all lining up with exactly what was written in that letter that he wrote. So, it is what it is, man. I mean, it's there. It's wham bam right in your face. And they're not even hiding it anymore.
Interesting. Yeah, go ahead, Piankey. You good? You got it. Because I'm trying to find out what's going on with this guy's mic.
Well, like I said before, one thing that you do is protect your kids. You have to protect your kids, and you got to do what you see with that. You got to run from the school board. Get on the school board. That's the least level of political action that I think that a person can get involved in a school board. In state law, in many states, I know Missouri because I read the statute, says that the textbooks, the curriculum, and the instructional material can be whatever the district wants it to be. And it says that the State Board of Education and the Department of Elementary and Secondary Education cannot mandate to a district. And the only blacks that's going to come out and challenge you on that is somebody that works for a school district, a teacher, or somebody else that's making money. And the sad thing is, they get paid whether the product that they are putting out is efficient or not. If it was automobile, it would come out with 4 flat tires. I mean, that's just how bad it is. And they just using these kids. They use these kids. It's a shame. I'm telling you, it is a damn shame of how black children. And you see, no child wake up in the morning wanting to be a failure. None. Y'all know that. It's the system of this public education. They are using these kids, these urban areas, to make money off of them. They're making money off of the salary. They're making money off of them in benefits. They're making money off of them in pensions. They're making the district, the teachers union are making money off of it through the dues that the members are paying. And I tell you what, look at any head of a teachers union in a city, and I would guarantee you they're making probably $250,000 a year.
That's very interesting. Well, these teachers unions definitely have a lot of power. I do know that. They have a lot of power and they have a lot of influence. They also be going to the White House and stuff like that. But I will say that when Barack Obama was in office, and they had after that, he had a huge affiliation for a group called Teach for America, which is really like for-profit teaching. That's one of the problems with this Teach for America thing. It funds, they claim they're teaching, but they bring people from all over. And it's a correlation between Black Lives Matter. Some of the people like D. Ray McKesson, Brittany Packney Cunningham, who actually went to Washington University in St. Louis. Some of those people actually, you find that they were on boards of Teach for America or were employed by Teach for America. So, and I'm not sure if y'all how familiar you are with Teach for America, but Teach for America runs a lot of this stuff too, and that's another problem you got, for-profit teaching.
Mm-hmm.
That's another little caveat that was in there. A lot of people probably don't know about Teach for America. They're making all these charter schools all over the country. I'm sure, Piankey, you know about charter schools and stuff. I'm just bringing that out, like a lot of people.
Yeah. I know about charter schools, another form of choice.
Okay.
Now, how good it operates, it's like traditional school. It depends on the people that's watching over it, especially the parents. Yeah. I'm a pro-choice person myself. I think that a parent have a right. Now, in fact, I know parents, this is one of the last alternatives because I've worked in some schools and I helped form some African center schools. One here in St. Louis. That's called promotion. Dr. Gilby. Yeah, I've been in the classroom and, kind of looking at and watching over and observing what was going on. You got some students in these classrooms don't belong in those classrooms because they are way more ahead of where they are assigned to be. And that's because the parents are working with these children. I know for sure one lady that I have lectured to on how to prepare her son, in this case, for higher education. And when I used to see him in the classroom, he was not being challenged. And when you don't challenge him, when you challenge somebody, you put them in a whole different mode of focus on what it is that's challenging you. Well, if what's being challenged to you is lukewarm and weak, and you get over it real fast, well, then what you going to do the rest of the time that you wait on others to try to catch up with you?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Very interesting. That's very interesting. Can you hear me, Chaq? I don't know if it's Mike, but that's very interesting, Piankey, that you said that, man. You know what, man? You are, I know some people have got on you, and I heard people got on you in the past for saying that you didn't have a problem with Trump.
Man. Can y'all hear me?
Yeah, I hear you now. I got you. Can you hear me?
Right.
Well, Piankey, I know you said that you didn't have a problem with Trump. You said that Donald Trump made people, money. If you were a businessman, you like Trump. If you didn't like Trump, right, something like that. So I get what you're saying.
All right, y'all hear me?
I understand why people get emotional. Yeah, I can hear you.
Can you hear us? You can't hear us.
Well,
I've seen a lot of.
But
one thing he done what he said, he said he was gonna do it. He done it, and he worked hard to do the things that he didn't achieve. And then too, I never, at the particular political level that he comes from, heard a president talk about school choice. In his first address to Congress, he said that especially for Black Americans, those kids need to have school choice so that their parents and that child don't have to stay locked into that environment that they're in now.
Mm-hmm.
Now, does that mean that everybody? Here's the thing. A child needs to be assessed and evaluated for what in-depth internet that they have that they could possibly get involved. They had it back when I was a kid. They called it track. But you got it today in other areas. You got it in football combine. You got it in basketball camps. In the football combine, you bring all the kids out there. You have them run, jump, throw, try to catch, and see exactly what they're good at. And unfortunately, you send a whole lot of them home because they ain't going to pan out. You do the same thing at the basketball camp. I think kids, you intros, hours. But they don't go home and do 100 math problems every night to improve on those skills. There's something wrong with that picture. There's definitely something wrong with that picture.
Well,
I tell you, many of these high schools, no sports going on at all because these children are failing academically. You read about them stories.
I think it's a delay on my end.
College and can't read, right? You got NFL players can't read, right? There's something wrong with that picture. Matter of fact, that is tantamount to a national security issue. When you have a population that's not small, a student, it's a big problem, and we see it. And like I told you before, I ain't never seen so many dumb white folks in all my life.
Can you hear me?
These people are just dumb.
Ooh, man, hey, man. I've been seeing a lot of dumb stuff too, but let me say something to you. Because the topic that I want to get to, and I'm going to call them for rights called JAB exemption forms. And I'm going to I put my in the chat and some names I want to shout out because I got to thank the brother, Darren Muhammad. And I mean, you know, like I said, cash app him on $state SOTC Muhammad MUHAMMAD, and also his buddy Dr. Randy Short, Dr. Randy Short. If you want to, I mean, Darren Muhammad was the one who sent me the JAB exemption forms. So, you know, like I said, much is given, much required. Praise and gratitude to him. My cash app, of course, is $1919. BJ, and my email is Bernard Johnson at yahoo.com. His is Darren Muhammad at gmail.com. And I gotta look up the address. But I just want to, yeah, that's him. But I just want to say congratulations to him for sending those out, and I've emailed some people. Like I said, you know, sending me a donation is completely voluntary. You don't have to, but you want to $1919 BJ. But I do have the forms, and if they actually deserve a lot of credit for the work they're doing, and can't thank them enough for giving out those things because people do need to know that there is always another alternative. Now, will they accept it? I cannot assure you that. Some people are going to try to bypass and do anything anyway to make sure you take it. But I'm just telling you there are other means and alternatives out there besides just going down the yellow brick road all the time. So I just want to point that out. You can even do this in your own school and more. So, but I did want to point that out that there are other alternatives. So he has a show Saturday and Wednesday nights. That's called State of the City, and he brings up interesting content all the time. So,
he still got his YouTube channel up? Is it still down? Because I know they had taken it.
Yeah, they took it down. They took it down for basically speaking about stuff like this. Yeah. But it is what it is. But I had to give them gratitude for that and giving me the information because without it, you know, I mean, like I said, I could have gathered what they gave, but I said, let me email you, brother, and let's get it. And I told them that, you know, sometimes you have to do that, you know, because other people need to know the same thing. I mean, I'm gonna just be dead honest. I sent one to Monique2c earlier, and I think I sent to Chaq as well. So, and you know, anybody else that needs it, they can either contact them or contact me, I guess, if I can forward it off. But I just wanted to say that I just wanted to give y'all another alternative. It's the least I can do. Y'all are some wonderful supporters, so I just wanted to say that. So, and that's all I want to say. But go ahead, Piankey, what you saying?
Forms are good. I was talking to a young man tonight, and his job, they gave him a deadline to get his shot. I think September. They was gonna have to. They asked him to resign. He told them, "What you talking about? You need to fire me." But what he done, he got a religion exemption and filled that out and took it to him. And everything's cool now. But you have to thank Barack Obama for that, making those pharmaceutical exempt of being sued. And you know what it is that companies are exempt from being sued, and they require you to take a shot in order to have your gainful employment. Well, if that shot makes you sick or cause some harm, you can't sue them.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I thought that they had
Ronald Reagan 1986 too as well.
I thought they had it where if you could have your employer sign something stating that they would, you know, if you were to get sick or something behind that shot, that they would be liable for it if they're mandating that you take it. But I also know that the government was eventually going to use businesses and companies to start mandating these shots on people. You know, it's a way around the law for them. You know, it gives them an opportunity to put in place by using the private sector exactly what it is that they want to do to us.
That's exactly right. Okay. Yeah, a lot of people are submitting the thing in the chat. But yeah, I just wanted to be Piankey, I'm glad you know about that information. You really know your information, man. I mean, I do appreciate that you do research stuff. You know, I always like that because I do a lot of research. I do reading, but I always get up in the morning and I say, let me see what's going on. Even with the situation in Haiti, you got to know it's more to that than meets the eye. So.
Well, you know, tell me what's going on there. But I tell you what, you know, when people just go to Africa, you have to have a card showing that you took them smallpox shots. And people will get them exempt for them. Matter of fact, Dr. Lau of Africa had a copy of one of his books. I can't think of the name of the book. And people used to photocopy that and fill it out, put it in the passport with the card. And when you go to customs, they read that exemption. They just let you go on through. So that should apply today. A government cannot recognize a religion. In other words, they got to be neutral with it. So when you come up with a religious reason, a religious conscientious objection to a government mandate, then they supposed to respect that. Isn't that what Muhammad Ali?
Can you hear me?
When he was banned from boxing for 3 years and had to go to court, the Supreme Court ruled in his favor. He said he was a minister, and he had conscientious objection to the war.
Yeah. Well, thank you. I mean, you know, I'm glad that I know people like you because I grew around a lot of people. I grew up with a lot of people that some know, some don't. But I will give a fact that when I did realize a lot of Black people aren't taking this. So,
Well, I know that I was watching Dr. Shiva's YouTube channel. One of the things that he was saying on his channel was that one of the reasons he believed that they were really pushing it really hard, as hard as they are pushing it, is number one, they're not making the money that they thought they were going to make because obviously people are not are not taking the shot at the rate that they thought they would. I know there's a big push to start talking about the variants and all this other stuff, to heighten the panic and the fear once again. I think think they did a pretty good job over the last year or so to terrorize a lot of people, because you still see people walking around with the mask on, and now babies are wearing masks, and it's absolutely about control. It's definitely about control, and you know we're just gonna have to get to the point where we're just resisting. And I think that there are a lot of people that are, because it's not 90% in the store wearing masks. It's here in Cleveland, it's places I go, it's probably 20% of the people you might see wearing masks. It might even be a lot less than that. When you understand the human body, I took an anatomy class back in the early 2000s and a medical terminology class, and one of the things that I know, and I'm not a doctor, but you got an immune system that is designed to defend you and when you get sick. But the idea is that you have to have the proper diet. You have to get plenty of exercise. You gotta also take supplements. You need a good multiple vitamin and mineral supplement. You need other things that are out there. As I understand, Dr. Sam is very good, and one of the things that
won't let me talk.
even was that when it comes to the flu or any kind of viral infection, people don't necessarily die from that viral infection. But one of the things he stated was that what happens is the body, your immune system overreacts, and it attacks the body, and that's what eventually, leads to the death of a person. I guess it's called a cytokine storm. And he stated that the vitamin C was like the buffer to that. So you definitely need the vitamin D, the vitamin C. I mean, these are all natural things that our Creator designed for us to have, to keep the body strong and to help us stay healthy.
Chaq, can you
Hello?
hear me?
You hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you now.
Yeah, I hear
go
you.
ahead. Yeah, I can hear you now. Yeah, go ahead.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, I don't know what's going on, man. I was trying to get in, man. It kept saying my mic was muted. I don't know.
Yeah.
I'm trying to shut me down.
They want you up.
I don't know. But anyway,
Hey, man, it's an honor to be on here with you, man. You gentlemen, man.
Yeah.
You got an echo, man.
I got an echo on mine? Oh, man. Let me see.
Hey, BJ, I'm not out here to try to give medical. I'm only repeating what I've heard. I read myself. Human body is a marvelous machine. It takes a lot. Think about the abuses that we put our body and how it was.
Where is that coming from, man? Where is that coming from? Hold on, man. Where is that coming from? Must have left. But whatever. Dang. I don't know what's going on. But
yeah, but can you hear me, BJ?
Can you hear me? He might be hear me. Piankey might be hear me. But I don't know. They keep on zapping us out.
I can hear you.
Okay.
I can hear you a little bit. I'm gonna have to get off of here in a little while.
Okay, well, ain't no problem, brother. I mean, I'm just glad you was able to come on and share your knowledge with us, man. So thank you.
It's good to have you with great things.
You're much more knowledgeable than a whole lot of folks out there today anyway, so you're on the right path.
Yeah, man. Come stop by anytime, man. I'll keep in contact with you. I'm glad I asked Valerie for your number, brother.
Absolutely.
Thank you, man.
Victor, I'm glad to meet you.
Yeah.
And hang in there.
I'm trying my best, man. 34 years old, you got to try your best, man, so I can make it the way you at.
Absolutely. But the main thing is educate those kids. That is the main thing. Because if you die with the knowledge, the kids got to start all over again. I don't think they can make it. I really don't. You got to educate them and give them the weapons that they need to survive with and stand on their feet.
Okay.
I'll see you guys later.
Thank you, sir.
All right, have a good evening. Yeah. But yeah,
Okay.
like I was you know, our bodies, man, you know, we put our bodies through a whole lot. And you know, at this point in time in my life, I'm really trying to step up and do a lot more better things than I do. I mean, don't get me wrong, I still like, you know, my chocolate and all that stuff, but I mean, but for the most part, I'm a big time fruit and vegetable guy, you know, and my work is physical. So when I'm at work, I get a good sweat and a good workout. And then usually when I'm off from work during the wintertime, you know, I'm setting up here at home, my own gymnasium, lifting and, you know, jumping rope or whatever it is I need to do to stay in shape. But nutrition, proper nutrition is definitely important. And you know, um, it'll help you to, you know, overcome some of the ailments that we're dealing with.
Yeah, Chaq, can you hear me?
Yeah, hold on. What the heck is going on, BJ? Hey, there's some weird stuff going on, man. Hold on, man.
I know they keep knocking my camera out and everything. They messing with me too, man.
I told y'all every time I come on, get on with you guys, there's always something.
Oh, this ain't right. It's coming out of both of my devices. Let me see something. Is that better? Can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you.
Okay, there we go. Boy, I don't know what the heck going on, boy. Man, they got some device for you, man, for you, boy. God damn.
Yeah.
What's up with you, Victor, man?
Oh man, I
Good
can't.
to see you.
It's good seeing you too, man. It's good being seen, you know. Just trying to maintain, man. You know, we was talking about some heavy stuff there, you know. I think Bernard said his camera went out, but man, you know, we living in some serious times, man. And you know, the battle is on. And and
Mm-hmm.
and we're in the thick of it. And the thing is, you know, this thing could go one way or the other. You know, I think back to what Io Kamathi when he was on with T West, you know, they were kind of talking about what happened after the election last year, man. And, you know, it was like what we got now, you know, man, we in for a bumpy ride, man. And it's been and these folks ain't disappointed us, man. I mean, they pulling out all the stuff. And, you know, hey, we're going to do it. Or, you know, we're gonna shut you down, your text messages. I mean,
Right.
when I think about when I was growing up back in the 70s, man, I you know, I can remember images on the evening news, man, of these folks coming in here from Cuba, a lot of folks coming from Haiti that were fleeing oppression. And you know, and I think unfortunately here we take so much for granted, you know, the freedom of speech. And now, you know, that's being curtailed. And, you know, the attack on the Second Amendment rights, the attack on parental rights. I mean, it's coming from all directions. It's coming from all direction, and so many people are caught in the crossfire, man. And it has devastating consequences for all of us.
Nah, I agree. I'm just sitting back, listen to the wisdom, man, like you said, because
Now that was Mr. Piankey.
um,
I mean, it.
oh yeah. Oh
You
yeah,
know,
he always dropping good knowledge and wisdom, man. And that's why we got to see. That's the problem too with this. We got to make sure we keep that connection with the elderly people, man, and because they are, like you said, they're trying to rewrite history, man, and they're taking a lot of stuff out, and they're going to be adding a lot of stuff over the next couple of years. Information, like you said, that's why um this pandemic and stuff, it's to kill multiple birds with one stone. It's not just one thing you can pinpoint it on. Like I said, they're trying to get rid of the elderly people that know this information, that been through a certain similar situations in their past. They're trying to knock them off. As you can see, um um
too.
rest in peace, rest in power to Biz Marquis and everybody that has took the jab, suspectedly, allegedly took the jab, and no longer here on this earth, like you said. He's only 57, like you said, and we had some other greats, like you said, that was allegedly, information came out that they may have taken, this jab or whatever, and it's taking them out. And like they just trying to rewrite the history, man. If you notice, like I said, even the information Piankey is giving and you giving, stuff Judge Joe Brown is saying, like you said, they're gonna try to wipe the internet with all that stuff in the future, like you said, and it's gonna be replaced with all type of this new terminology that they're trying to pull on us with this,
They always redefine, using words to redefine things. Definition of words and stuff. Words don't have the same meaning anymore. It seemed like, but yeah,
Right.
that at this point in time in his life, Judge should be retired, enjoying life.
Right.
Doing
Yep.
hunting, doing whatever it is the judge like to do in his spare time. But yet, he's making, he's going around the circus, man. Talking with people, telling them about, manning up and things of that nature. We need those kinds of things, man. And it's really been absent for a long time. And so, this idea of heterosexual masculinity is really, it's really under attack. It really is.
Well, it's the enemy of state right now. That is the enemy of state. Heterosexual masculinity is the head of state. I mean, it's the enemy of state right now. Like you said, if you try to display any of that, they're trying to get that up out of here. Because, like you said, they want everybody docile, and they want you conforming to whatever they want to roll out.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
So we got infiltrators, man. I'm not saying everything that's going on, like you said, with situations, different parties, but there's also some infiltrators here that's got a stronghold on the way our life is, the style of life that they, what I'm saying, trying to portray on us.
Yeah. Well, I mean, we've been, we've been merchandised, man. I mean, and materialized. And what I mean is, material things. We've put so much value on material things. I mean, I don't think I could ever spend $100 for a pair of tennis shoes, let alone $200. A lot of people are buying those. I guess I said that backwards, but a lot of parents are buying those very expensive tennis shoes for their children. Having the best car. And I mean, there's nothing wrong with that stuff, but I think we have to get to a point where we put these things in proper perspective.
Right.
Out of financial debt, we have to, have a nice savings, invest,
Right.
and even prepare our young people for the future. I've been a big time advocate of these young folks joining these apprenticeship programs, whether it be plumbers, electricians, heavy equipment operators, and things of that nature. working with your
Now,
hands, how to do things, you know.
now, Victor. Now, how give us a second, because that's a good segue into a good topic. Give the people some information like where they can go in their local cities to get that to get to those trades you're talking about, the
Okay.
skills.
Well, you know, typically if you live near a big city, you know, if you want to be a carpenter, you just, you know, you go online and you Google for the carpenters local, laborers local, uh,
Mm-hmm.
engineer and operators local, uh,
Mm-hmm.
electrical workers local. I mean, um, there are apprenticeship programs out there. I don't know how it's going to be, you know, currently with the way this administration has attacked the natural gas and oil industry, you know,
Mm-hmm.
but you know, you still got to learn how to do those things. These are the keys to in my opinion, to rebuild our neighborhoods and our communities. Because once you can learn how to work with your hands, you get enough folks, you can buy these properties, you know,
Right.
enough folks that know how to do these jobs and keep these things. I mean, I think it'll take a big bite out of
And,
gentrification, you know, because the
and
people.
Victor, and not to interrupt you, and like you said, you can have money if you did want to change your career, you know, you want to change your career or something like that, or change your goals or something. You can still have money to go to college.
Yeah,
You know what I mean? Because nowadays, you know how tuition is so high
I
to go to college, man. It's
yeah,
ridiculous, man. But they
but,
they
but
shelling everybody. They trying to shell everybody to go to college. That's not applicable for everybody, man.
no, it's not. And you know, and the
It's
thing
not.
is, if you if you take an apprenticeship program, it's not gonna cost you anything. In fact, you know, some of the apprenticeship programs, you know, you go out, you contact with an employer, they sign you up, you sign up through a local union hall, and you get the on the job training, you get the classroom training, you know, you get paid at the same time. You know, people go to college and they, you know, and I'm not making light of a college education, you know, but at the same, by the same token, like you said, not everybody is cut out to go to college. I know I wasn't. I went into the military, you know,
Hmm.
so you know, I may not be the best at what I do, but I ain't the worst, you know, and
Right.
I'm pretty decent living in what I've been doing, you know, for the last 27 years, maybe, you know.
Hmm.
But it's money to be made. I mean, you think about it. You're a high school graduate, you know, you get into the trades, and you know, once you become a journeyman, you know, you make it 80, $90,000 a year. I mean,
Hmm.
how many really, how many folks have gone to college are making that kind of money, man? I mean, it's a lot of money was a lot of people wasted a lot of money going to college and not really being able to pursue the career that they want to study. So, you know, college is for, you know, I guess lawyers, doctors, you know, people that
Hmm.
be engineers or something of that nature. But man, in order for the community to be built up, you got to have people who know how to do things in the community, you know, whether it's drywall,
Yeah. Hmm.
roofing, and things like that, you know. You make, you mean, it's a good hustle, man. If you know,
HVAC.
good at what you do.
HVAC. You got to, yeah,
Oh,
HVAC, especially in these hot these tropical cities. I mean states and stuff like that. Yes, sir.
yeah, absolutely. I mean, people gonna always need a plumber. People gonna always need
Hmm.
people gonna always need a mechanic. You know, and consequently, I think, you know, a lot of that stuff was intentionally removed from public education because, as I stated to y'all before, you know, when I was in the seventh grade, I took wood shop. You know, that's why I
Hmm.
learned how to read tape measure, man, and I took mechanical drawings and things of that nature when I was in school. You know, and then I went off to the military, and so uh, even going into the military, there's all kinds of things that people can get into our young people can get
Mm-hmm.
to if they go into the military. I know a lot of people are not crazy about that idea, but the fact of the matter is so many people, you know, our people have gone in to the military and made fantastic careers. You know, I got a
Right.
that have gone in and they did 20 plus years, and you know, I mean, hey, been retired for a few years now, you know, only working because they want to, not necessarily because they have to. And that's something when you can, you know, you can retire at the age of 50, 55, you
Oh
know,
yeah.
and you still got some, you know, a little bit of youth left, and you can, you know, still get out and enjoy life, and you know, right, as opposed to working until you're 65, almost 70 years of age. Hell, I don't want to do that, you know. So,
Right.
I mean, I put in my time. I, you know, 3.5, maybe 5 years at the most. You
Mm-hmm.
know, I can hang it up, but I'm always gonna do a little hustle. You know, I'm a straight up hustler, man. You know, I go
Right.
out, cut grass, and make some money. I'll go out and, you know, paint, you know, somebody's living room or the bedroom or kitchen or something like that. You know, it's all kind of ways, you know, to make money, because people always need odd jobs done. You know, all kind.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Absolutely. Like you said, it's just about having options, Victor, in life, like you said. And not nobody down in higher education. It's just about
Mm,
having options, like you said. If you come from a family that doesn't have the financial backing to send you to a prestige college or whatever, like you said, you can take up a nice trade because 9 out of 10, you use your hands and feet all the time.
mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? It's about directing it and making it work for you instead of you. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Use it to make it work for you, so you can build you some type of economics
Right.
and
Exactly.
a financial backing.
You know,
Hmm.
I'd heard, I'd heard a few years ago. In fact, it was when Tavis Smiley used to have that State of Black America every February. You know, before Barack Obama came and brought the sword. But
Hmm.
you know, one of the things that I remember, I forget who it was, but they said you know, you got to have multiple streams of income, which means you got
Oh
to,
yeah.
you know, you got to be able to know how to do multiple things. You know, as I tell my nephews, you know, if you know, there's more than one way to skin a cat if you can't get a job. You know, you're good at
Hmm.
washing and waxing cars. I mean, hell, you can make $30, $40 washing and waxing somebody's car. Um, you know, cutting grass, you know, 30 or $40 cutting grass. You know, you
Hmm.
build up your pretty nice clientele, you know, you can make you a couple, $300, $400 a week, you know, which if you don't have any bills or you don't have to worry about paying rent because you stand with a family member, your parent or your grandparents, or whatever the case might be, you know, you can pretty much take care of yourself, you know, doing it that way. I mean, it's important to get a job where you can have something put away for, you know, for retirement and everything. But hey, if
Right.
all fails, you got to go out and get it yourself. You got to grind, you know, and I don't mean out there on the corners slinging rocks and you know whatever
Uh-uh.
they be doing out there, man. But it's the easy, fast, quick, big money that everybody wants. And it took me a long time before I got to the point where I know what big money is, you know, to get paid big money
Right.
a week, you know. And so it don't, I tell my nephews all the time, you know, it's a process, man. You're not gonna go straight to the top when you know you go and apply for a job. You're not going straight to the top. You got to start somewhere, even if it is a, you know, minimum wage job. You got to start somewhere. Build that work ethic up, you know. So yeah.
That's very interesting. So I got a video I'm gonna play for y'all, right?
Mhm.
And I want
Uh-huh.
you to hear it, both of them. I want y'all to give me your thoughts on it. Um, I was just looking at this video the other day, and I want you to be able to hear the language. Because we have to be able to understand the language of what the devils are pushing out. Okay, let me find it for you. I want you all to be able to hear this now.
Attention anyone interested in a money-making career in fitness as a personal trainer. There is a massive need right now for at-home and online personal trainers.
We are at this critical moment in the pandemic. There's a clear message that's coming through. This is becoming a pandemic of the unvaccinated. We are seeing outbreaks of cases in parts of the country that have low vaccination coverage because unvaccinated people are at risk. The good news is that if you're fully vaccinated, you are protected against severe COVID, hospitalization, and deaths, and are even protected against the known variants, including the Delta variant, in this country.
All right, CDC Director Dr. Rochelle Walensky with a dire warning today for Americans who remain unvaccinated. She also warned that the 7-day average of new cases increased by 70% from the previous week. The number of hospitalizations has increased by nearly 40% in the same period of time, with daily deaths up 26%. Nearly all COVID-19 deaths in the U.S. are people who were not vaccinated. The uptick comes as a Delta variant. This is a highly contagious.
Pause there for a second. They hear someone unjabbed, right? You hear that, right?
Mm-hmm.
You see how they push the propaganda?
Yeah.
And I'm saying what they're trying to do, they're really trying to call you a terrorist. Biden, they asked him straight up, he said the unvaccinated is killing people. They're trying to call you a terrorist.
Explain to me the people that haven't been vaccinated that hasn't caught the coronavirus. Explain that to me. What are the numbers at? What are the see? They want to be journalists. And you want to do research. Where are the numbers that on that?
Yeah,
I'm just being serious, man. It's time out to stop playing games. Be serious. If you're gonna be honest, be honest with it. What about the people that haven't caught it?
But not only that, what about the people that have gotten a jab and still getting sick? You know,
See, propaganda.
It's manipulation. Once again, to back us all in.
We could go by
coercion, yeah, and coercion too.
We will go by step because I want y'all to hear this little leprechaun here.
An easily transmissible mutation, it continues to spread. White House COVID advisor Jeff Zients told reporters that just 4 states accounted for 40% of all cases in the last week, and 1 in 5 new cases have originated in Florida, where Governor Ron DeSantis has proudly staked his political ambitions on dismissing the pandemic. Thanks a lot, Florida man. Unfortunately, many individuals have been receiving false and misleading information from social media or right-leaning news outlets and commentators. 11 out of the top 15 performing vaccine-related posts on Facebook were negative or anti-vaccine. President Biden was actually asked about this today.
On COVID misinformation, what's your message to platforms like Facebook? They'll kill people. I mean, look, the only pandemic we had is among the unvaccinated. And they're killing people.
All right, the man just told you, you're killing people. What you got to say?
How that mug know who we kill? I mean, how he know? Hell, half the time the man don't even know where he at. He don't know if his wife was. I mean, really?
Where is he getting the research from? Who was volunteering for this shit? Who was volunteering to telling him that they got who? Where is they going at? They digging these numbers out their ass crack, man. Come on, man.
Look, all right, now let's go a little bit.
They're killing people. With me now is Dr. Anthony Fauci, America's favorite doctor, director of the National Institute of Allergy and Infectious Diseases, and chief medical advisor to President Joe Biden. Dr. Fauci, I'm honored to have you here with me on the program tonight. I want to get right in because a lot of people have a lot of questions. I'll tell you, when I come across people who haven't been vaccinated, they say, well, I've been okay so far. I haven't caught COVID, and right now I'm more anxious about the vaccine than I am catching COVID. What is your advice to those folks tonight?
I think they just need to look at the numbers that you just mentioned. You know, 99.5% of the people hospitalized died
that nigga lying.
from COVID.
vaccinated and about 0.5% among the vaccinated individuals. If you look at the numbers again that you just mentioned, we have a large percentage of the new infections that we're reporting every day are in those regions of the country where the vaccination rate is very, very low. It is really very unfortunate for someone to say that I have not gotten infected yet, that means I'm okay, is just not facing the reality of the high degree of effectiveness of the vaccine, the threat of the virus, and the fact that you look at the risk-benefit ratio of the vaccine versus adverse effects of the vaccine, it just overwhelmingly falls in favor of vaccination. So we really need to reach out to people by trusted messengers who they might trust to try and convince them that the folly of thinking that everything is going to be okay if people don't get vaccinated. It's going to be really a real problem. They said you have two types.
Is that little Jack in the Box going to vaccinate these damn immigrants that they bring across this border?
Yeah, and it's so scary because with this Delta variant, as we talk about, it's highly transmissible, highly contagious. I know people who are vaccinated.
Oh, goddamn highly contagious. They lying. Then why you ain't set the country back down then?
Penetrate the existing vaccine.
Yeah, watch this. Penetrate the existing vaccine.
Say that
Only
again.
if you have more mutations and you have a modification.
He's talking about how smart the virus is.
As we know now, is very, very transmissible in the sense of its efficiency in being able to go from one person to another. There's no doubt about that. It's much more than the prior viruses that we had to deal with. That's for sure. If you allow the virus to continue to circulate, namely replicate in the community, going from person to person, you give it ample opportunity to mutate more. And the more it mutates, the greater likelihood is that it will change enough to actually evade the vaccine. Right now, fortunately for us, the vaccines work very well against the Delta variant, particularly in preventing you from getting serious disease that might lead to hospitalization. So we are fortunate that we have vaccines
that's misleading.
that work against this very troublesome variant. No reason why it's stunning why people do not want to get vaccinated when you have a very effective tool that could be life-saving.
And look, I think you make a good point. The virus is getting smarter. The virus is also something that's trying to look.
Now, you just heard her say,
hold on.
That's what I was trying to get to. Get out of here.
Hold on. The virus is getting smarter, right? But you mean to tell me the virus... Hold on. They still haven't told us how you catch it, how you contract the virus. If I pass gas, can somebody get the virus from if I pass gas? They still haven't really told us how you contract it, how you get even to pass it. And how, you know what I mean? Come on, man. Come on now.
This is absolutely shameful because unfortunately there's still too many people listening to this man. This man has done more damage. And if you go back, what was it, May, when all the information about the gain of function research came out and all the questions,
right.
A minute there he was quiet. Somehow he got off the hook now. So now he back out there bumping his gums again, man. I mean, this is insanity what's going on. And people need to wise up.
It's a clown show. It's a clown show.
You have an immune system that is designed to fight these viruses. There are many doctors. I'm not a doctor, but my goodness, there are many doctors, many of whom they will shut up or shut down their social media pages to keep them from giving out the information. I mean, they got more to lose, while they have, while all the others that are out there pushing it, they have so much to gain. So I look at this thing and I'm like, well, if you could lose your career, be shut out of, social media and all of that for telling people, well, here's some natural ways to go and do this. I think I'm more inclined to listen to you than somebody that tells me that, well, you need to go and get this because it was created to fight this, that, and the other. when you already have the immune system that's designed to fight it in the first place? I mean,
Okay.
where are we
See,
going
now
with
look.
this?
Let's
You're
finish
so
this
silly.
off. It's getting funny. I
Look,
want to
hold
finish
on,
this off
BJ.
because it's getting funny. Go ahead.
Hold on.
Because I got to laugh.
This Jack in the Box, so they so silly, man. He talking about not being hospitalized. Man, what the hell has got me to doing? If I get sick in my house and my immune system, I also get this virus, whether it's vaccine or whatever, this jab shuts my natural ability to alarm me that something is going on. You have no symptoms. You get with this jab, you're getting no symptoms. That's leaving you open for anything else to attack your body, because you have your natural defense system is open. The floodgates is open. Anything can come in and attack you. Yeah, you might not die from COVID-19, but you might die from something else. It's almost like I hate to say it, BJ. It's almost like they gave us that's an HIV cocktail or something, because it's opened your defense system up for you to die from something else. Well, it's a slick way to kill you off.
Let me let it finish, because I want you to hear at the end of this thing what she said. And you'll be like, hold on, man. I can't believe she said that. She ain't nothing but a dad. You know, she bad when she's about you right now.
Live, and it's getting smarter. So as the virus, I think we'll keep seeing these new variants. When it comes to boosters, a lot of people, there was some confusion before about Pfizer saying you need a booster. The White House came out and said not so fast. When will it be time for vaccinated people to get?
Oh, come on. Y'all don't come on right now. Hold on. Look at his head on there, man. I know they ain't do this. Okay, hold on, man. Any black people? Yeah, you got to write about that.
Well, what you do is you just follow the people who've been vaccinated, and we have a number of cohorts that are being followed by the CDC, some that we're doing right now, tests to determine what the proper approach would be to doing boosters. But right now, we don't see the need to boost people. What will likely happen is that sometime over a period of time, the durability of protection might diminish to the point that it gets below that critical baseline where there would be an increased risk of the vaccine not being as effective as it originally was. Then there's also the situation of those people who are immune compromised, people who might be on medications that suppress their immunity. Also, maybe some elderly people, they may need a boost sooner rather than the general population. But we're not there yet. We're following it very carefully. And if and when and to whom we need to give boosters to, we will determine that. And we do, then you'll hear about the recommendations. But we're not there yet. Right now, the message is the vaccines are very effective in preventing serious disease. And therefore, if you get vaccinated, you feel reasonably confident that if you get infected, which you likely won't, but if you do, that you're not going to wind up getting a severe outcome.
Because there's a state of emergency in Japan right now where the Olympics are taking place. In your expert medical opinion, should the Olympics have been canceled?
You know, Tiffany, I don't want to really make that determination. That really has to be done at the level of the local health authorities. The Japanese are very competent.
You better not say that, because they'll come get your ass. You better not lie.
We need to let them decide that. I don't think it'd be appropriate for me on the other side of the ocean, the other side of the world, telling them what they should be doing with the Olympics.
These felonious lies over in America.
I know I see a lot of people out. Everyone's ready to turn up this summer. Concerts are happening and people are social. Should we wear a mask indoors, outdoors, in Ubers, in cars with people? What's the guidance for you?
Well, the guidance is the guidance from the CDC, Tiffany, and that is if you are fully vaccinated, you do not need to wear a mask either indoors or outdoors. But what we are seeing in the real world is that in those areas where you have a lot of dynamics of transmission and you have a situation where a proportion of the population in a particular given geographic area might be very low with regard to the percentage of people who are vaccinated. Under those circumstances, local authorities, like in certain states or certain cities, are saying, even though you are vaccinated, just to be doubly sure, when you're indoors, you should be wearing a mask. But the broader countrywide recommendation is that if you're vaccinated, you're protected, and you don't need to wear a mask indoor or outdoor. But you're going to be hearing about situations where people will say, hey, if you're in an area with a high density of infection and a low level of the community vaccine, you might want to consider wearing a mask even if you are vaccinated.
Why?
Well, thank you so much,
protect against it.
Dr. Fauci, for
Lying.
everything you do for America
I ain't gonna
during
big
the
part.
pandemic. I
Listen
know
to
you've
her.
gone through a lot, so thanks for being here. And I just want to say quickly to the folks at home, if you are questioning the vaccine, just note the only people who are aligning with you questioning the vaccine come from the MAGA crowd. You don't want to be on the wrong side of your health or history.
Now, that's
see
what
that?
I was saying.
Hey,
Hey,
hold on.
People from the mega crowd. That's what I was trying to get to. You heard that crap.
Hey, this is so pathetic. They can't get him out of their system, can they?
Hey, Victor.
Maybe something.
I don't wish death
here that
I don't wish death on nobody, but hey,
huh?
I don't wish death on nobody. But I wish warp speed on these mother suckers. That they go ahead and fall off at warp speed time.
But something going on.
Hey, Vic, but I'm trying to tell you, this is the clown show I'm talking about. This is stuff I'm talking about. Come on, man. Tell me that interview wasn't pathetic, man. It wasn't pathetic, man.
Pathetic.
Now you're gonna tell me these vaccines is gonna bypass every ailment you got and keep you. They ain't worried about whatever you get. They worried about some Corona-19 stuff or some coronavirus. Now your system is compromised because you're putting some foreign particles in there. Now your defense system is broken down. It's not going to protect you from anything else. You open. Your system is basically open.
But I had to show you this, man, because I was sitting there the other day watching. I was just laughing my tail off. I said, "Oh my God, y'all didn't go this far, did you?" I'm like, "No." But I listened to what she said.
But you better than me, man. I couldn't sit and stomach that every single night. And unfortunately, I know people do, man. They sit and they listen to this stuff, and it's like there's no other voice out there. There's no other opinion. The hell with Dr. Shiva, Dr. Buttar, Dr. Michael Yaden, BDA Raoul, who's supposed to be the top epidemiologist in the world that have contradicted everything this man just stated. And yet we wrong because we don't want to listen to you. It's crazy, man. It is crazy.
Well, let me say something. The person that talks about
I'm gonna say one more thing.
I'm
gonna say one more thing, BJ. God made dirt and dirt don't hurt. Fuck
him. Well, I'm gonna say this to you. I know for a fact that me personally, right, as a person practicing stuff, I am highly offended by the interview because he making it seem like this is the only thing. But then he also said your immune system compromised in other areas, then you might need to take a booster. Well, I thought you said this was the God Almighty that could cure everything.
Yeah, but not only that. Remember last year they were saying that when the 91 VidCove came out, they was out there telling once you get it, once you get your shot, you don't have to worry. Now people that have it, they gotta worry. They gotta worry about us. Those that don't go get the shot. I mean, it's the story changes all the time. It's one way today, it's another way tomorrow. I mean,
what's the old saying, Victor? When the story changed 3 times, what is it?
It's a lie. Basically, there's a lie from start to finish.
Right.
I mean, you know, truth is irrelevant to some of these people, man. And you know, any way they can get it off, they got people they still got a certain segment of the population terrified as hell. You know, I mean, you can't even. People have stopped going to church. People won't let you hug them anymore. You days you greet somebody with a hug and no.
Hey man, sooner or later. Now check this out. Well, Juvenile, that video vaxxed that thing up when they did that clown show thing, right?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Well, sooner or later they gonna start saying some dumb stuff. Hey man, if you don't take the shot, you can't get laid. Hey, they come over that too. Because let me tell you something, man, about that. They come over that too because I'm talking to a lady the other day, and she said something on some of these dating apps. They got a badge on there you can put up. I got the shot. So she said something to women. Now I'm like, we got to be crazy as hell to be talking about this like a badge. Hey, you got yours? Which one you got? Which one you got? Oh, I got J&J. Well, did you know the other day Johnson Johnson's got another lawsuit for what? Sunscreen materials, right? So all that baby powder. So I'm just saying these people are not to be trusted. They're about making money. I mean, Bill Gates already told you it's the best investment he ever made. So, but nevertheless,
Victor jumped off.
Oh, he might did. I don't know what happened. But if he did, he was with me for a long time. But nevertheless, I do think that it's very interesting of how this thing has went. And I'm just glad that I'm able to talk to people about these issues and stuff like that. Yeah, I know you've been having oh, dang, he's back. Hello? Yeah, my bad. I don't know what happened, man. Sorry, but it's okay.
You know what happened.
Oh well, it happened. They might be getting a little mad with us, but it's okay. We're gonna pivot a little bit. We're gonna go to 3.9. Now, Shaq, you've been having a nice show lately, and you're on the congratulations. Thanks for bringing me on. Talking about nutrition and it was very interesting with the guys. So you got a show, so go ahead and talk about it for a second. Bring it up.
Yes, sir, man. It's CL Smooth live show on. You can catch it on every Thursday at 4 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. You can catch it also the playbacks and all the episodes. You can catch them on Spotify and iHeartRadio, Apple Music. I think is on too. The calling number, if you want to call in, like I said, and chime in on the conversation or any of the guests, it's 516-666-9834. My show is about, like you said, a lot of audience participation, like you said. I try to bring people on and give information, and we have a good time, like you said, on the show. And like I said, the last show we kind of celebrated BJ his birthday, and I forgot this in my introduction when I introduced him. I forgot him that a lot of this wouldn't be put together if it wasn't for Bernard, because he's a traveling man, and like you said, he don't mind connecting. He's a connector, and he connected me with this internet family that I'm attached to right now. And I got to salute him. I forgot to salute him on the show, man, because he connected. He makes a lot of connections to a lot of people in the chats, people that other YouTubers, other people with podcasts and stuff. And he don't mind making that connection, and like I said, connecting you to the people that you need to get to. So I got to salute him on that.
Yeah, he definitely like Tupac. He get around, boy. He definitely get around.
Oh man. Oh yeah.
Well,
when we was on the judge's show on Friday, and salute the Honorable Judge Joe Brown. I didn't know you was mixing and spinning it up with last night a DJ Saved My Life, BJ. What you know about that, youngster?
who?
Remember Friday the judge's show when Valerie had the the guy on that did the last.
Yeah, yeah. I know you're talking
Yeah, yeah.
about.
Now,
Bro,
if I'm wrong, but I thought I heard somewhere in that conversation where you as a DJ would play that song at some of the parties that you would spend records from.
oh, no. She was saying I'm gonna play it at one. That's what she was saying. I know you're talking about.
Oh, okay. Yeah, yeah.
But look, but there's a lot of songs I play though. But it is what it is. I mean, really, to tell you the truth, all jokes aside, and I'm just gonna throw this out there. I never really I just had a lot of DJ friends and they put me on. I never and I told my buddy, hey, look, man, this was like 3 years ago. My mom had died. And I said, look, I need something to do to pass the time, you know. And I said I can make some money and put in other projects, but I said I could also connect with people. And I said actually made a lot of connections actually probably at this point as well, because some fact that I always talk to people. But it's kind of like this. People are so, and not everybody, a lot of people are not shallow minded. But you know, sometimes when you bring them in to something that they hire you for and they talk to you from a different basis, they'll say, okay, wow, this guy really is very smart. And maybe I'll listen to him. See, I like to just have conversations with people. I had conversations with people, everybody, lawyers, doctors, judges, pastors, you name it. As a matter of fact, out of all the people, most of my, you know, the most people I had problems with pastors because they don't like what I'm saying. They get kind of offended and they, you know, they're like, oh my God, that's not true. That's, you know, they get on this Jesus or whatever. It is what it is. I don't have no animosity for them technically, but I did tell one of them, you need to stop talking and this stuff and you need to speak out against stuff that's wrong, because really, to tell you the truth, you leading the herd to slaughter. And he said, you talking bad to me and stuff. He never talks to me again, but it's not my prerogative. He ever wants to talk to me again. That's not my prerogative. I don't really care. But actually, I have more problems with a lot of them than regular talking to regular people like judges, lawyers, or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
And of course, I mean, still talk to y'all. And sometimes they can be incredibly bullheaded and very stupid for the most part. I mean, and not even stupid. They're not even stupid. They're just playing the role of being a pulpit pimp. It is what it is.
Yeah.
I'm just telling you what it is.
Yeah. So, well, I mean, you know, I got in touch with you, you know, after watching some of your shows, man, and I've been impressed with your, you know, with your desire to go out and go after the information, find out what's going on. You know, certainly there's two sides to every story, and then there's that it somewhere in the middle that lies the truth. You know, I don't have time to argue and be at odds with people because they disagree with me. I you know, or nor do I really want to deal with folks who get mad because I don't agree with them. And I mean, pretty much this is where we are, man. I mean, it's a divide and conquer game, you know, put people against one another, man. If you love Joe Biden or if you love Donald Trump, hey, you know what I'm saying? You roll with whoever you want to roll with. You know, I mean, I'm not mad at you. I might disagree. You know, we have conversations about it, but man, we got to stop this nonsense of hating on one another because we don't agree. You know what I'm saying? And particularly, you know, being a Trump supporter, you know, you know, family members, they look at you sideways. I mean, they still love you and everything, you know, and they trying to figure it out. I don't know why it's so hard for them to figure it out. Why
Victor?
You better than Hillary and Jim Crow Joe? You know what I'm saying? Yeah, go ahead.
But what have they benefit from supporting these other people, man? What have they benefit? They can't show no benefit.
And
but somebody that they don't even speak nice to you no more.
What has happened is, you know, they're at ease now. You know, they ain't got the media pounding stuff in their head every single night, you know, about, oh, Orange Man did this and he done said that, you know, but never a conversation about what the others have done. And certainly they've done far worse. I mean, I've always said 10 years in the House, 2 terms in the Senate, maybe 3 is stretching it. But once you go beyond all of that, you ain't there for the people no more. You're there for yourself. You're there to protect the system.
And it should be cut off at 68 or 65.
Yeah, I mean,
you shouldn't be no older than that.
Yeah, and then once you leave
Nah.
Congress, you should not be allowed to get a lobbyist job for 10, 15 years. You and your immediate family members should not be allowed to get these kind of jobs. Once you leave Congress, there should be a lot of stipulations as to what it is these individuals can do. But the sky's the limit for them. And they've long stopped representing us. I know Dr. Claude Anderson has stated many times, our so-called Black leadership have failed us, long time ago. And it's no wonder we are where we are. As Manning Johnson stated in his book, Color Communism, they can get away with using us Black folks, melanated folks, African Americans, Indian Moors, whatever we want to call ourselves. At the end of the day, we are the easiest group of people to use and exploit, and use as cannon fodder to start this revolution, man. Look at how, you see a young brother in the street killed by a police officer, and then automatically, we got to burn the country down or whatever the case might be, when in reality, something being used to spark what we saw happen last year. People didn't care about any of these guys, whether it was justified or unjustified as to why they died at the hands of these officers. They didn't care about these guys, man. They could care less. I mean, it's happening every single night in the inner cities across this country, and yet, it's not a whole lot of an outcry. I'm saddened by it, and I think there needs to be more voices brought to the table, need to be brought to bear on this, and certainly our elected officials' feet need to be held to the fire. And we just
elected officials.
Hey,
because selected, and they ain't leaders. They're puppet masters. See, a lot of times we've been, I don't know, man. We've been so-called held back, I guess, for so long, and been mistreated for so long, right? That we still got that HNIC syndrome, head nigga in charge syndrome. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Everybody want to be the head nigga in charge. Nobody else got to go through that.
And it seemed like for some reason,
you know what I mean?
Well, yeah, and then it seemed like for some reason or another, we have this undying love for our oppressors. I said, in church when we talk about even with the abortion issue, man, you go back and you look at the writings or read the writings of the things that Margaret Sanger and her Planned Parenthood organization has said about us. How could you possibly support people that support that organization? I know they want to tell us it's all about women's health and this, that, and the other. Is it really? I mean, maybe a woman can go and get some kind of help. I don't know. I've never been there. But the fact of the matter is, the objective is to kill them babies. And good Lord knows, for too long, we've supported people who have pushed those agendas and told us all kind of stuff as to why we need to, get rid of these unborn children. It's just like the LGBTQ agenda. I mean, I don't hate people who are LGBTQ. If that's the way you want to live your life, as I stated earlier, man, that's your choice. But the fact of the matter is, it is a full-blown agenda, political agenda now, to force everybody to bow down to this, especially the children. Mr. What's his name? Piankey, the gentleman that was on earlier.
Yeah.
I mean, it's a direct on the children and the hearts and the minds of our young people, man. And
right.
This is sad that we continuously support individuals in political office that accept these agendas simply because they can say, well, the other side, they don't like you because you black, but yet this side, they love us so much that they want to turn our boys into girls and our girls into boys, and you know, they want to kill our children. You know, they want to usurp your parental rights. They want to take away a parent's ability to choose the proper education that they want to give to their children. You know, now look at the division they're trying to cause between family. I mean, BJ, you was talking about this last week, man, with earlier this week when we was on the phone with Gail King, you know, talking about, you know, she's not going to have family members that haven't gotten the 91 VidCove shot. You know, I mean, what kind of foolishness is that? You tell your family members they can't come? Well, I probably wouldn't want to go anyway. But at the end of the day, but this what they're doing is they're going to start putting family members against one another, family members and friends against one another. They already seem like they've succeeded in a lot of ways, putting people of different races and nationalities and ethnicities against one another. You know, it's a divide and conquer game, man. It's pure evil, really, is what it is.
Yeah.
Well, I'm gonna say something to y'all, brother, man. Y'all have been awesome. I ain't gonna take a lie, and I would say this. Yeah, Frank Nitty, well, you shouldn't be celebrating Thanksgiving, though. Like, you know, hey, man, it's not about the days, it's about the people you love, and this thing has gotten really big crazy. But I will say this, though, that I do thank you for reaching back out and talking to the younger generation, because we need more elders like you that actually will talk to us about these things, and actually also go do the research, because one thing about it, I research all the time. And I always see what I can find. And thank you, Chaq, for calling me connected, because when you got a train, you gotta connect with a chain, but actually a train too, because you gotta connect those links of the train to make sure it doesn't fall off, because you don't want that train to run off the track. And for the last year and a half, most people have been running off the track. They've been running off the track there. I mean, on the train this way. Matter of fact, I just read an article. They said that they got cops are down to the lowest level on subways because they putting cops on subways now, stuff like that. But also, okay, Frank Nitty, I might have to send you that email again. I don't know what's going on. Matter of fact, send me what is this damn number, man? That's crazy, though. I mean, I don't use this thing as much as I should, so let me get the number for you so I'll send a text to what's this damn number? Send me a text.
I might need you to connect me with a guest for Thursday show, man.
Send me a text to 804 hold on, let me get this, brother. Frank Nitty, send me a text to 804-424-1934. 804-424-1934.
Why don't you bring Monique on?
Hmm?
Chaq?
Yeah.
Me?
Seemed like last Sunday,
yeah,
kind of vibing about
BJ, he got to send the link out.
You know?
Hey.
Invite her on.
Hey.
Tell her
she in the chat.
Hey, look.
She was in the chat.
You sent the link.
I sent her invite night. Maybe she here and she'll come and show her pretty faces.
We want Monique. We want Monique.
Hey, hold on, man. Let me put this number in the chat for this guy. Yeah, I ain't got nothing. I mean, I'm just trying to help some, but I'm trying to, like I said, I just want to give people information on those forums, because you always got a choice. You can live or die, or you can strive or be depressed. You make the choice. The choice is yours. You can be depressed, or you can be happy, or you can be indifferent. or you be nonchalant. It does not matter. So when they tell you you ain't got no choice, no, it's always a choice. A lot of people make decisions to live or die, so that's what you got to do. I don't know why they really think there's no choice.
And hey, you know, when it comes to this, you know, you got to go out and do your own research. You know, there's plenty of information out there that people are giving out. You know, doctors are talking about. You know, anytime I listen to a doctor and they're talking about the human body and its ability to do, you know, miraculous healings itself if you do the proper things to it, they got my ear. You understand what I'm saying? You know, the scripture says we are fearfully and wonderfully made. The very hairs of our head are numbered. And the fact of the matter, you know, when you can tell me that there are plants, you know, certain kinds of fruits and vegetables that you can eat, cut out some of this, cut out some of that, you know, and you begin to feel better. You got my ear, you know what I'm saying? But if you're talking about medicating and you need this prescription and that prescription, you know, I get kind of, you know, I'm like, okay, here we go again. You know, do I have to sit and listen to this? You know, I mean, can't you tell me something natural to do rather than giving me something that's going to slowly kill me? You know,
It's called treatment. It ain't the cure, it's the treatment. They're gonna keep you in the treatment stage.
Yeah.
It's dope game, baby. They the biggest dope dealers in the world.
A lot of money.
But they do it legally.
Yeah.
Well,
I mean,
that's fooey.
And look,
no, they don't.
No, I was just gonna say. I mean,
man,
there's you might need drugs, but you know, but your doctor should always be, you know, leading you down the pathway of trying to make sure that this is nothing. These are not something that you need to be on for the rest of your life. You know,
Right? Exactly.
this is to help you for a short time, but this is what you need so you can come off of this stuff and live a healthy and productive life. You know, and have a quality of life.
Well,
exactly.
with that being said, I just want to thank you. I thank you for coming on, and I thank you for always giving me a call. And yeah, you're great, man. Victor, this is actually great. We got to do this again. Thank you for doing this, actually. And I was glad that I told you I would get you on, so I did it. Chaq, thanks for always coming on. As a matter of fact, his cash app is $sign Shaq 1981, and I think yours is $sign Lamb of God 7. That's it. I saw it, but I just had to, you know, he always say undevoured, but it said something else. So, but I do thank y'all for coming on.
Okay. Yeah.
And mine is $sign 1919 BJ. I email BernardJohnson10@yahoo.com. And I'm trying to. I don't know why some people say they're not getting an email from me for the exemption form, but I keep trying. I mean, somebody else got it because Monique2c got it. But she said got back out. I don't know. Maybe they stopped blocking my emails. Hey, they're trying to create a social credit system anyway. I don't know, but it is what it is.
It's coming.
But I did, you know, wanted to bring that out. So if you can't get it from me, you get it from DarrenMuhammad@gmail.com, or I think it's saltministries.com. That's Dr. Randy Shook, whatever. I thank those people for putting out information, because right now we live in a Nazi-stop era right now. We don't know about it. And when they start talking about door to door, you better understand. And matter of fact, it's a video I sent you, Shaq, of this brother from Nation of Islam. He showed what they're doing. They're coming up in the organization, and they give you all these brochures like, we're gonna give you food, you know, affordable housing, you know. Yes, sir.
But
they are really.
But let me bless the people. I'm not a doctor. I'm not medical nothing, but allegedly if you take a fourth of teaspoon of cayenne pepper and some lukewarm water, maybe drop you a couple teaspoons of honey or agave or something in there. Allegedly, it helps with your respiratory system. Allegedly, I don't know.
Yes, sir. Okay. Yes. Well, with that being said, you gotta look like that brother Marcus in the room, who I should have brought on, but I texted him earlier.
Oh yeah, man. What's up, Tim? I gotta say what's up, man. I'm about to call him, man, when I get off, man.
Yeah, give him a call. Matter of fact, but yeah, I thank you. But I do thank y'all for coming on.
Well, promote this, cause he got a show that he be doing on Spotify. Lucky You Radio on Spotify.
Lucky You Radio on Spotify. That's exactly the name of the show.
Yeah, Lucky You Radio.
I thank you for bringing me on. And I tell you what, I will say this. I'm not into birthdays and all that, but this has actually been a fabulous birthday weekend, and it was very memorable because y'all made it great, fashionable, and whatever. Not because it was of gifts or cash apps or whatever, but more so because we was able to connect on this podcast tonight and talk about all these issues. And that's everybody. Even Piankey who's gone. So with that being said, I wish y'all peace and blessings, and take time and have a good night.
Perfect peace, brothers. Perfect peace.
You too, bro.
Salute.
Gotcha.